In this lesson, we're going to be talking about Revit's application menu. And we can find the application menu underneath the big R in the upper left-hand corner of the program. So go ahead and move your mouse up and click on the big R. Under the big R, this is the application menu. And there's a variety of options underneath it. The first option is going to be New. And New is going to allow us to be able to create new Revit projects. Also, this is where we can create new Revit family files, as well as a variety of other different kinds of new Revit content. The application menu also allows us to be able to open up content. So by moving over to Open and just hovering over it, we could then move over and open up a project, open up a Revit family file. Also, we could open up an IFC file. IFC files stand for Industry Foundation Class. And what this allows you to do is if someone else has a different BIM software program other than Revit, they can save their files out as an IFC file, and then you can open them up in Revit as an IFC file. There's the option to be able to save. There's also the ability to be able to save as, which allows you to save your project with the same information but with a different name associated with it. There's Save as Template. Save as Template allows you to save out your Revit project and then be able to use those same settings that you set up inside of your Revit project again and again and again in future projects. You can also do a Save As Library and then save as your Revit families, groups, and views out onto either your computer or out into a network location. What this allows you to do is be able to reuse that Revit content that you've set up again in future projects. Examples of this would be a custom piece of furniture you may have created inside of your Revit project, or maybe a custom door schedule or a room finish schedule that you've saved out. These can all be saved out as library files, put out into a network location, and then loaded back into Revit whenever you're going to be doing future projects. There's Export. This allows you to be able to export out your Revit information out to DWG files, DGN files, those same IFC files I was talking about earlier. So if someone is using other different programs other than Revit, they can then be able to utilize this information.
There's an option here for suite workflows.
I currently don't have other Autodesk programs loaded up on this computer, but if I did, I would then be able to select those programs off of the list and be able to directly share from Revit into some of those other programs. Publish. Publish allows you to be able to quickly print off DWF, DWG, DXF, DGN, and SAT files, and then be able to share those out to the Autodesk Buzzsaw site. Print does what it sounds like. Then there's also Options down here at the bottom of the screen. And if you choose Options, you'll see that you have the ability to be able to choose how long you want to go between being reminded to save, such in this case, it's every 30 minutes. You also have the choice of every 1 hour, every 2 hours, every 4 hours, or never being reminded to save at all. Now, the reason why it reminds you to save instead of automatically saving your Revit files is because some of these Revit files can get to be quite large. So as a result of that, you wouldn't want to be forced to save a 150 meg Revit file after 30 minutes has elapsed. It could just take too long to be able to do. So as a result of that, it'll remind you after 30 minutes, and then whenever you get a good breaking point to save, you'll have the opportunity to be able to do it. There's User Interface. User Interface allows you to change the way certain things display on your screen, such as which tabs are going to show up on your ribbon going across the top of your screen. Also, this is where you can customize your keyboard shortcuts. And if you click on Customize, you'll be able to see some two-letter combinations. These are two-letter combinations you can type on your keyboard, and it'll automatically execute the command that two-letter combination is next to on this list. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK to that. There's double-click options, and if you click on Customize next to double-click options, this is what will happen if you double-click on that kind of object inside of Revit. For instance, if I wanted to double-click on a Revit family, right now it would automatically try to edit that family. But if I didn't want it to edit the family, I could either tell it to do nothing, or I could tell it to edit the type. And editing the type would be able to change specific information associated with that family, without changing the way that the shape of that family would look, for instance. I'm going to go ahead and click on OK to that. A couple other tabs I want to point out here. One is Graphics. Some people like to do invert background in order to be able to give them a black drawing area. I find that a lot of people have used AutoCAD in the past, which always has had a black drawing area, like to invert their background colors. This is also where you can change some of the other colors that are associated with Revit. Also, there's an option here called File Locations. And if you choose on File Locations, you can set up where all your default content is located at, whether it's on your computer, whether or not it's on a network location on the server. That information can be changed through here. And all of this was underneath the Options menu. And I'm going to click on OK here on the Applications menu. So those are the different options associated with your Applications menu.